like live NBA, the TNT show. You know what I'm saying? It comes to a point where it comes to a point where you're gonna be you can't talk about certain things. Well, they be allowed them to talk about something like that this week, where when they did their show live, you know, and Shaq, you know, and Barkley, no surprise, got up with their, you know, their buffoonery. But, you know, as I looked back, because I had to go through on YouTube to watch that, and I watched it, and, you know, Shaq's up there, you know, he said, what do you tell your kid? They were talking about the subject of what do you tell your children about how you approach, you know, when police pull you over and you're approached by police. What do you do? What do you tell your kids? What do you tell your children? You know, and he went ahead and said, yo, you know, well, he didn't say yo. That's me. I'm sorry. Well, he said,
well, you know, tell him to put his hands on the wheel and, you know, you know, because you never know if the cops coming and, you know, they had a bad day. So you got to put your hands on the steering wheel. Don't move. You know,
he gave him all those dumbass instructions, and almost gave his instructions and shit gave them permission for them to, gives them the police the permission to shoot us if we act anything other way than, you know, because even if you do put your hands on the steering wheel, it doesn't mean that they're gonna come home safely.
You're just trying to come home safe. You're trying to come home safe. You gotta, you know, turn down the cheek if he punch you in the face. And tell him that your daddy is Shaq.
That shit ain't gonna work, bruh. Stuff ain't gonna work, man. Or maybe you know, maybe because they say that he's the perfect type that, you know, he you know, it's like they, no matter how tall, no matter how big they are, they just don't have it. They don't have the nuts to say what they should say. They don't have. Sometimes they don't even have to say nothing. You know, Kenny walked out. Kenny walked off the set. Kenny walked off the set, and he didn't have to. You know, he didn't have to say anything, but he made his statement there in protest and walk off the set. How come what's stopping them from doing that? That money is everything to them. They can't do without that money. They don't care about their integrity of themselves anymore. Money means more than integrity. That's why Shaq is putting out that badass suck-ass pizza from that you know, he wanted to save that piece of shit franchise of pizza from his, you know, from his master mindset pizza. That's what you're gonna call it, master pizza. And I'm gonna call Papa John's master pizza, because that's what it is. Sometimes when you put out opinions and stuff, and you saying stuff like, yeah, from the other side, you speaking more oppressive than you are of a person of the disenfranchised. You know what I'm saying? We are the disenfranchised. They need a voice more than anything, but they don't get one, even if they look like them. That's how our politicians are too. Kamala, she looks like us, right? But she thinks like them. Her policy supports things that think like them. Biden is another one. But he already has the face, and he has the demeanor, and he did policies that hurt us, and those things that hurt us, you know, there's a difference between, you know, the overt and covert, and he's been covert, I guess. He's been covert. and if some of y'all might prefer covert politics because it's a better racism to you, but to me, I would prefer an overt. I don't want to choose between two devils, but if forced, I would probably rather die. I'd probably rather die than go through that, man. I would. Rather than die than go through that, man, for real. But, people like to pick between those two, you know what I'm saying? They forced our way into those opinions on us, man. I can't even support that shit no more. I mean, I'm not gonna be happy. Either way, looks like, Trump was trying to lose, so he's probably gonna lose this one, but he ain't gonna win with my help. Biden won't win with my help at all. If Trump win, Trump, either one win, I don't care, so be it. If you might say, well, if you vote for this, to vote for that, what I'm saying? It's like a vote for putting a dynamite stick up your ass, or, putting and then lighting the shit, or vote for shooting your eye out. Who wants to vote for any one of those shits? Then it's a dumb idea to even try to make sense of the shit. Policies don't support us, bro. None of them do. We need a leg up. None of them want to give us that. So what the heck am I supposed to do? I'm not living with no white-out opinions. I live in black, and I stay that way. And I'm going to vote to stay that way. That's what's going to happen come next election. So, such is the case with people. So when I'm talking about people that sell, have a paid opinion that's now the opinions of the people that they work for on money. That's what happens. Such as the case of people like Stephen A. Smith. That do you remember when Stephen A. first started on ESPN? He was just as boisterous, loud as he was then. He was blind, but he was more true to himself at that time, to me, on the first go round than he was in the second go round. Second go round, he had to see life was like without that money that he used to bring in, and he thought to himself, well, since that happened, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to shuffle dance and do a freaking shuffle so I could become more in line with the opinions of the network and what they want. And I'll be just as loud and boisterous as if I really mean what I say as I was back then. But you know what it is? It was more bullshit. It's more, all it came out, and as his salary became bigger, the more bullshit he became. The more his stuff he faded into some type of biggest buck dancer they was. Clowns out here don't want to be responsible. This is what happens when you don't take accountability. We don't hold these folks accountable for their opinions at all, because we don't, and we gave up the power to. Over time, we just kept giving up that power. We kept giving up that power, and we got used to it. We got used to giving up power. We got used to, not looking for policies that support it. Just going around, you giving money to these. We get these clown politicians that go around just all they about is taking their care of themselves and making sure they have enough money for themselves, have money for their little family, and they thinking like individuals more than they do like a freaking group. So they don't want to be part of this. They don't want to be a part of us. They don't want to be a part of their family anymore. But we all just took care of it. We all was okay with it. We all walked in line and quick step with it. We should have never done that. You know what I'm saying? I need to play some of this music right here. We should never have played a part of that. You know what I'm saying? And we just kept going with it because, you know, we wanted to watch, we continued to watch ESPN, we continued to watch all the things. And then when we get to talking politics, we were like, we listening to Fox News. I want to hear both sides. Why the fuck you want to hear both sides for? You want to hear both sides of the devil? Y'all motherfuckers are really stupid. I want to hear more sides of demons. Shit, I don't even know if I press that explicit thing that I usually press. I probably didn't. But, shit. This show is explicit today, I'm saying. So then you got, let's get this straight here. So these like, all these well-meaning black folks turned over to the other side because of money, man. And the opinions come white out. And as our opinions become more white now, so has our music. Our music can become whited out. Our art. And it's always been supported because we lost our day going nuts and became bitch-ass niggas who are too scared to take responsibility, too scared to hold people accountable in their own community, too scared. They're scared to do it. They don't want to check nobody. Nobody gets checked. Nobody wants to play keeper and put the gate up on their community. We allow all kind of suckers to come into your community and then just shit over it. It's crazy, man, what we've been able to. We should have never done this stuff. We should have never allowed this. So now we okay with these sucker ass opinions, and we got some more sucker ass opinions to talk about. I'm talking about Roland Martin, Angela Rye. They all became, I used to be convinced that these people was cool and stuff. But even coming out to find later, these guys would more care about who's paying them their checks and how they continue to make checks. Who's paying me? How much money I'm gonna make? All right, I'm gonna stay with it. Yeah, It's crazy, man. It's crazy what we do out here just for a buck. Now, I used to work over at a Quick Trip with the red shirt, and we had to walk line step with all their bullshit too. They wanted us to take responsibility for stuff that we had no control over. Like, he wanted us to clean the whole back of the machine and stuff. Within certain hours, we had to run all the way to get off the register, do all this. They had like a list of 20 or 50 things on a daggone thing. They called it a DAW. I forget what it was short for. What the acronym for that was. But they was gonna have. You had all these side jobs to do while we at work, cleaning the whole coffee machine, and then if it wasn't done to satisfactory standards, they would actually be guys coming in. He had the manager, like I was the assistant manager, like overnight, and then they would come in and they would touch the dust, and they put the dust. See that there's dust there, and after I spent all night running back and forth from the register to make sure everybody had their hot dog, make sure they had all their food, make sure they had cigarettes, all that stuff. I had to clean off all the hot dog stations, or the whole freaking store, wipe down the windows of the coolers that had held your drinks in. You had to go outside. You had to go and stomp into the ground some daggone oil dry, which is like cat litter that we poured over the daggone oil to get that stuff up. And if it